Welcome to the show. Welcome to Your Thought Life podcast. I am your host, Michael Anderson. If you enjoy the content that we produce for you each week, after you have enjoyed this episode, wherever you listen to us, leave us a rating and a review. It helps us tremendously to attract listeners just like yourselves. Today, we're talking about learning to fail forward. And this is a hard one for me because it forced me to recollect my journey from the help desk to executive and all of the failures that had to take place for me to traverse that specific journey. So I wonder if I told you your biggest failure could be your greatest asset, what would you think about that? In a culture that celebrates success and hides struggles, we've developed an unhealthy relationship with failure, and it keeps us playing small and avoiding risks. And as you're going to see in this episode, we are going to expose some people that you know and have heard of. And it is because of failure that they reach some of the pinnacles that they have. And the idea of leaning into failure is the precise mechanism that each of us, each of them, have used to garner success. There's research from Harvard Business School that shows that professionals who have experienced failure are 20% more likely to succeed in their next venture compared to first-time people who fail and stop. Dr. Carol Dweck's research is phenomenal. It's predicated on a growth mindset, and it reveals that people who view failure as learning opportunities, and that's a core tenet for this podcast, one of the core things that we teach people when they are in this process of moving from where they are to where they want to go. And there's a whole lot of things in between the two that they have to undergo. What she is saying and what science has backed for several decades is that these learning opportunities create for us an environment where we can establish for ourselves more resilience and creativity. And if we won't give up, it will turn into long-term success. And this is one of the hallmarks of what makes changing your mindset from a fixed to a growth so that you're able to harvest this 20% gain. It may not sound like a lot, but more often than not, someone's breakthrough is just around the corner. And with one or two more attempts, they will be able to secure that which they are seeking. The psychological principle at work is called post-traumatic growth, the positive psychological change that can result from struggling with adversity. And when we learn to fail forward, we literally rewire our brains to see setbacks as setups for the comeback. Let me say that again. We rewire our brains to see setbacks for the setups for comebacks. Now, if you don't remember anything else, you should take that, write that down on a 3x5 card, keep it somewhere where you keep all of your success notes, because that indeed is a hallmark. There's a gentleman by the name of Michael Jordan, and he once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career, and I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over again during the course of my life, and that is why I succeed." We have to understand, family, that this perspective illustrates the paradox of what we perceive as failure. The more willing you are to fail, the more likely you are to succeed. There is just a tremendous amount of rigor that is required to stay the course, especially when we get emotionally engaged. For the folks like yourself who understand that failing forward is the ticket to that which you desire to be or show up in the world or do or become, you now have literally everything that you need to proceed forward. And I'm going to augment that right now with a couple of things that you can do, three actually, that you can do to help instill this into your soul so that as you're out doing life and life is presenting these challenges as you pursue your goals, dreams, and aspirations, you can deploy these in the time of need. So, number one is the failure autopsy method. I know that sounds a little grim, but check it out. It's really cool. When something doesn't go as planned, you conduct a failure autopsy within 48 hours. You ask yourself, what worked? What didn't work? What would I do differently if I had to do it again? And what did I learn about myself, others, or the situation? Document these insights, and that's going to help you to avoid repeating the same mistakes or not having the amount of information that is required for you to continue doing what you need to do to obtain that desired outcome. Number two, the rapid prototype approach. So, in this step, instead of trying to perfect everything before taking action, what you're going to do is create a minimal viable version of what it is that you are getting ready to do. And you're going to begin acting on it immediately. This is going to feel incredibly uncomfortable because as human and based on how we were reared, the vast majority of us are wired to want to understand all of the steps and not have any gaps in our learning. This approach does not permit you to do that. This approach says that moving forward with a quickness and learning as you go is much more profitable. Remember, 20%. That's a 20% edge you get. That is far more profitable than you waiting to try to put it all together when in fact the perfect plan will never exist and will never be executed exactly how it was laid out. Okay? This allows you to fail fast and iterate towards success without investing too much time or resources in unproven concepts. We're going to end with this one, the resilience bank account practice. Here, what we're doing is we're building your resilience in the reserves that you have to draw from on a regular basis. And we do this by reflecting on past challenges that you've overcome. So all we're doing effectively, family, is we're going to keep a comeback journal. We're documenting times where you've bounced back, times where you've had a variety of things come against you and you prevailed. We're looking for precisely those incidents, no matter if they're personal or professional, and we want to journal all of those so that we have for ourselves a sort of a mental database of evidence that you can handle what it is that's coming your way with results that you know you literally lived through. There is nothing more powerful in the time of need than to be able to draw from previous experiences where the outcome you sought, you were faced with challenges, you persevered, overcame, and got the end result. Okay? Practice these three, put these into play, and I just know that I know because I've been teaching these for so long that they're going to work for you. Some of the most successful people keep a failure resume, a document of sort that lists their setbacks, rejections, and mistakes alongside the lessons learned. This practice appears to normalize failures as part of the success journey and helps maintain perspective during difficult times. This is another play that you may consider once you've gotten the other three steps nailed down and a part of your day-to-day practice as you're doing life personally and professionally. What's the closing thought? What's the big idea? When you learn to fail forward, You transform from someone who avoids challenges to someone who embraces them as opportunities for growth and resilience. And more than anything, I really desire that for each of you. I want to thank you so much for joining me today for today's episode. And feel free to connect with us via our Linktree app. The link is available in the show notes. I like to remind you that you are enough. You can do it. You are uniquely equipped to realize your goals. Until next time, take care and keep failing forward.